Welcome. Tell me honestly, have you ever seen a rich person wearing simple clothes and driving an old car, and wondered, why do rich people look poor? Here's the truth. What looks like simplicity is often a secret formula for lasting success. Stay with me till the end, because today you'll learn what rich people know that most people never understand. Comment below. Do you think rich people should look rich? Gross. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Wealth. We live in a world that tells us to look rich, even when we are not. Everywhere you see people trying to show a life they do not really live. Expensive clothes, fancy phones, shiny cars. But deep inside, many of them are tired, stressed, and broke. When you see someone looking rich, your mind says, wow, they must be successful. But that is not always true. Many people wear success like a mask. They hide their fears behind brands. They cover their insecurity with fashion. The world teaches us to show, not to grow. From childhood, we see that money means respect. So we start chasing things that can be seen. We buy to impress, not to progress. But the truth is simple. What looks rich is often empty. What looks simple is often powerful. Rich people understand this secret. They do not need to prove their worth to anyone. They already know who they are. They do not spend money to look important. They spend time to become important. That is the difference between those who look rich and those who stay rich. Think about it. You might see someone in simple clothes walking quietly. You do not know that the same person could own businesses, land, or investments. They look normal, but their mind works on a higher level. They do not seek attention, they seek growth. Many people fall into what I call the illusion of wealth. It is like a game where everyone wants to look successful first, hoping success will follow. But it never does. They buy luxury, hoping to feel happy. For a few days they do, then the emptiness returns. The happiness fades, but the bills stay. Real wealth does not need a stage. It lives in peace, not in show. When you stop trying to look rich, you start building real success. The car, the clothes, the watch, they are not the problem. The problem starts when you think they define who you are. Let's be honest. Have you ever bought something only to show others? Maybe a new phone or a branded shoe, and later you realized it did not really make you happy. That moment teaches something important. You do not need to prove your value. You need to grow it. Every time you try to show off, you lose a small part of your true power, because you start living for others, not for yourself. But the moment you focus on your own growth, life changes. You start saving. You start learning. You stop competing. You start creating. Rich people look poor because they do not waste energy on looking rich. They focus on the game that matters, building wealth quietly. They are not chasing likes or attention. They are chasing freedom. They know real success is not loud. It is calm. When you walk into a room wearing simple clothes, people may not notice you. But when you speak with confidence, they will listen. When you act with purpose, they will respect you. That is real power. That is invisible wealth. So ask yourself today, do you want to look rich or be rich? One fades fast. The other lasts forever. You cannot build both at the same time. In the next chapter, we will see why rich people choose to live simple lives. You will learn how simplicity gives them peace, focus, and power. Chapter 2: The Psychology Behind Simplicity. Have you noticed that rich people often look simple? They wear plain clothes, drive normal cars, and live quiet lives. Many people see this and get confused. They think, if they are rich, why don't they show it? The answer is not about money. It is about mindset. Rich people think differently. They do not need to prove anything to anyone. They are not looking for attention. They already have self-respect, so they do not need approval. Their peace is more important than people's opinions. That is why they choose simplicity. Simplicity gives them freedom. They do not waste time thinking about what to wear or what to buy next. They save their mental energy for bigger things. They think about ideas, investments, and growth. While others are busy showing off, they are busy planning their future. When you are rich inside, you do not have to decorate the outside. That is what many people do not understand. Confidence does not come from clothes or cars. It comes from knowing who you are and what you can do. That is real power. Think of people like Steve Jobs. He wore the same black shirt every day, not because he was poor, but because he valued his time and focus. Mark Zuckerberg wears simple clothes for the same reason. They understand that life is not about looks. It is about purpose. Rich people are not trying to impress the world. They are trying to improve themselves. They think long term. They know money loses value when you waste it on showing off, but it grows when you invest it in learning, creating, and helping others. That is the psychology behind their simple lifestyle. They also know that material things never bring real happiness. The excitement fades very fast. You buy something new today, and after a week it feels normal. So they focus on what lasts: growth, peace, and time. When you live simply, you see life more clearly. You understand what really matters. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop trying to prove something. You start feeling lighter, calmer, stronger. That is why rich people look poor. They choose calm over chaos. The simplicity protects them from stress. They are not running to keep up with trends. They are not afraid of losing image. They live on their own terms. That is real success. Every time you buy something to impress others, you give away a little bit of your power. But every time you choose simplicity, you take that power back. You show the world that you are not controlled by what others think. You are controlled by your purpose. Rich people look poor because they understand that real beauty is not in price tags. It is in peace of mind. It is in having control over your life. It is in the freedom to say no. When you stop trying to be noticed, you start being respected. Simplicity also helps them stay grounded. No matter how much money they make, they remember where they came from. They do not let success change their soul. They do not let pride destroy their peace. So, if you want to grow rich, not just in money, but in mind, learn from them. Choose simple, choose smart, choose calm. That is where real power begins. In the next chapter, we will talk about something very real: the trap of showing off. You will see how trying to impress others can quietly destroy your peace, your savings, and your happiness. Chapter 3: The Trap of Showing Off. Many people do not realize they are trapped. They spend money they don't have to buy things they don't need just to impress people who don't care. This is the trap of showing off. It looks beautiful from the outside, but inside it is empty and painful. Today, so many people live for likes, not for life. They post pictures of luxury, not peace. They show smiles on social media, but cry in private. They look happy, but they are not. They are stuck in a game that never ends. The moment they stop showing off, they feel invisible. That is the real danger. The more you try to look rich, the more you move away from real success. You start living for attention instead of purpose. You start working harder to buy more things, not because you need them, but because you fear losing your image. It becomes a silent race that never stops. When you show off, you give control of your happiness to other people. You let strangers decide how you should live. If they like your post, you feel proud. If they ignore you, you feel small. But your value should never depend on someone's reaction. It should depend on who you truly are. This trap also kills your peace. You always feel pressure to look perfect. You always compare yourself to others. You start believing that you are not enough. But the truth is, you are already enough. You don't need to prove your worth with things. You can prove it with actions, kindness, and confidence. Many people who try to look rich end up broke. They spend everything on brands, cars, and gadgets, thinking it will make them happy. But happiness that comes from showing off never lasts. It disappears the moment someone else buys something better. There will always be someone richer, smarter, or more stylish. You can't win that game. Real peace starts when you stop playing it. When you stop trying to impress, you start improving. When you stop comparing, you start creating. When you stop pretending, you start living. That is the real transformation. Rich people know this truth. They have already escaped the trap. They understand that silence is stronger than show. They do not need to prove anything. They let their results speak. Their businesses, their peace, and their freedom are their trophies. They don't need applause to feel proud. Ask yourself, how many times have you bought something only to show others? Maybe it gave you joy for a few days, but then it felt empty again. That emptiness is your heart reminding you that you are chasing the wrong thing. You don't need to be seen, you need to be real. When you live for attention, you lose yourself. But when you live with purpose, you find peace. That is what rich people understand. That is why they look simple. They are not hiding their success, they are protecting their peace. Every time you choose to show off, you lose time, energy, and money. But every time you choose peace over pride, you move one step closer to freedom. So, the next time you feel pressure to show what you have, stop and ask yourself, who am I trying to impress? If the answer is others, then remember this truth. The people you are trying to impress are probably not even watching. Real strength is quiet. Real confidence is calm. Real success does not need to be seen. It needs to be lived. In the next chapter, we will explore how rich people think about money, how they use it as a tool to build freedom, not as a toy to show off. Chapter 4. How rich people think about money. Money is not bad. It is powerful. But the way you think about money decides what it does for you. Poor thinking makes you a slave to money. Rich thinking makes money your servant. That is the difference. Rich people do not work just to earn money. They make money work for them. They see money as a tool, not a toy. They use it to build, to grow, and to gain freedom. Most people spend money to look rich, but rich people use money to become free. That is why they seem so calm. When they earn, they do not rush to buy. They think before they spend. They ask, will this help me grow? If the answer is no, they wait. They believe that every coin has power, and wasting it is like wasting a seed. They plant their seeds wisely, so they can harvest later. Most people see money as something to enjoy today. Rich people see it as something to secure tomorrow. They focus on investment, not excitement. They buy assets, not decoration. They spend on knowledge, not show. They understand that learning gives more return than luxury. They also know that emotions and money do not mix. When people feel jealous or greedy, they make bad choices. They buy things to prove something. But rich people stay calm. They do not let feelings control their finances. They plan, they wait, they think long term. For them, money is like energy. It flows where it is respected. If you waste it, it leaves you. If you manage it, it multiplies. That is the secret of their success. They treat every dollar like a worker, something that must bring back more value. When they earn more, they do not upgrade their lifestyle immediately. They upgrade their mindset. They ask, how can I make this money grow? They know that growing money is more exciting than spending it. Poor thinking says, I want to look rich now. Rich thinking says, I want to stay rich forever. This difference changes everything. It decides whether you struggle or succeed. Rich people also respect time. They know time is more valuable than money. You can lose money and earn it again, but you can never earn back lost time. That is why they focus on creating systems that earn money even while they sleep. They read, they learn, they build, they take risks. But every risk is planned. They know failure can teach them, but waste never can. And do you know why they look poor sometimes? Because they put their money where others cannot see, in books, businesses, and opportunities. You see their clothes. You do not see their mindset. You see their car. You do not see their cash flow. Most people spend to look successful. Rich people invest to become successful. That is the hidden truth. Money grows when you respect it. It disappears when you chase it. If you run after luxury, you will always feel behind. But if you chase wisdom, money will follow you. Think about it. What if you started treating your money like a seed instead of a prize? What if instead of buying something to show off, you bought something to learn or build? In 1 year, your life would look completely different. Rich people think that way every day. That is why they live simply and stay free. They are not afraid of losing image because their wealth lives inside their mind, not in their wardrobe. So, the next time you earn, ask yourself, will this spend make me richer or just look richer? The answer will guide your future. In the next chapter, we will look at how rich people's daily habits make them look poor and how those habits quietly build real success behind the scenes. Its curve. Chapter 5. Habits that make rich people look poor. If you follow rich people closely, you will notice something strange. They often live simple lives. They do not wear gold chains or designer shoes. They do not change phones every few months. They do not try to look important. and yet they have more peace, more time, and more control. Why? Because of their habits. Rich people have habits that make them look poor to others, but these habits are the real reason they stay rich. Their lives are not about showing off. Their lives are about building quietly. One simple habit is saving before spending. Most people spend first and save what is left. Rich people do the opposite. They save first and spend what is left. They pay themselves before they pay anyone else. It sounds simple, but it changes everything. Another habit is wearing simple clothes. They do not waste time deciding what to wear. They focus on work, ideas, and goals. Their energy is not spent on fashion. It is spent on creation. They care more about results than appearance. Rich people also plan their day. They know that time is more expensive than money. Every hour has value. They do not waste it on gossip or complaints. They use it to learn, build, and grow. They treat every day like an opportunity to improve. They read a lot. Reading is one of their secret weapons. While others are scrolling on social media, they are learning new things. They study success, leadership, money, and human behavior. They feed their mind instead of feeding their ego. Another important habit is living below their means. Even if they earn a lot, they do not spend it all. They always keep a safety net. They are not afraid of looking simple. They are afraid of losing freedom. They know that peace of mind is worth more than luxury. Rich people also say no to unnecessary things. They do not buy to impress. They buy to progress. If something does not add value to their life, they skip it. They do not fall for trends or pressure. They know who they are and what they want. They do not try to please everyone. They are polite but clear. They protect their time and energy. They understand that saying no is a form of strength, not rudeness. Another habit that surprises many people is that rich people do not rush. They move with patience. They know real success takes time. They are not looking for quick fame or fast results. They are building foundations that last. They also focus on health. They know that money means nothing without energy. They eat well, sleep enough, and exercise regularly. They understand that a healthy body supports a strong mind. One more habit that makes them look poor is that they avoid showing off their success. They believe silence keeps them focused. They do not tell everyone what they are doing. They let results speak. Their peace is private. Their progress is quiet. While others try to look rich today, rich people are preparing for tomorrow. They do not care about temporary attention. They care about lasting success. They know that small, smart steps every day build something powerful over time. You may look at them and think they don't spend much, but in reality, they are investing in skills, in ideas, in people, and in opportunities. They are not spending less because they are stingy. They are saving more because they are smart. So when you see someone who looks simple, do not assume they are poor. They might just be rich in wisdom. They might have the mindset that leads to freedom. Remember this: habits create destiny. What you do every day shapes what you become. If you copy their habits, one day you will live their peace. In the next chapter, we will talk about something very powerful: the silent confidence of rich people. You will see how calmness, humility, and inner strength make them truly unstoppable. Chapter 6: The silent confidence of the wealthy. Have you ever noticed that truly rich people are calm? They walk quietly. They speak slowly. They do not shout about what they have. That calmness is not weakness. It is power. It is silent confidence. Rich people do not need to tell the world they are successful. They already know it inside. They do not show off because they do not need to. Their peace is their proof. Their actions speak louder than their words. This kind of confidence is not built overnight. It comes from years of learning, growing, and failing. It comes from understanding that money cannot buy peace. True confidence comes when you stop trying to prove your worth. People who are still trying to show off often feel insecure inside. They want others to say, "Wow, you are doing great." But the wealthy have moved past that stage. They no longer need approval. They respect themselves, and that is enough. When you have silent confidence, you stop reacting to everything. You do not care who is richer or who is louder. You know your path. You stay focused. You keep working. That is how rich people think and live. They also know the power of humility. They treat everyone with respect. You may meet a millionaire and never know it. They don't use pride to show their value. They use kindness. They know that arrogance closes doors, but humility opens them. Their confidence comes from knowledge. They read, they listen, they learn. When you know something deeply, you do not need to prove it. You just live it. Rich people spend years understanding life, business, and people. That wisdom becomes their quiet strength. They are also comfortable being misunderstood. When others laugh at their simplicity, they smile. They know where they are going. They don't waste time trying to explain. They believe that results will speak for them one day. And they always do. This calm energy attracts respect. People trust them because they are steady. They do not change with trends. They do not show fear. Even in hard times, they stay composed. That calmness is like a magnet. It pulls opportunities, trust, and success. Their silence also gives them focus. They do not talk too much about plans. They act. They do not seek attention. They seek improvement. When you are calm inside, your decisions are clear. You do not rush. You think. You build. Silent confidence also means you are not jealous. You can watch others succeed and still feel peace. Because you know that success is not a competition. It is a journey. Everyone has their own time. This mindset keeps the wealthy free from stress. They know that loud success fades fast, but quiet success grows strong. That is why they look simple. They have nothing to prove and everything to protect. Their peace, their focus, their purpose. You can learn from them. Start practicing silent confidence in your own life. Speak less. Listen more. Don't rush to show what you have. Let your actions build your image. When you are calm and focused, people will feel your strength without you saying a word. Remember, true power doesn't shout, it shines. It does not need noise to be seen. It needs patience to be respected. In the next and final chapter, we will uncover the real secret of wealth. What it truly means to be rich, not just in money, but in life. Chapter 7, The Secret of True Wealth. Everyone wants to be rich, but not everyone understands what real wealth means. Many people think being rich is about money, cars, and fame. But the truth is much deeper. Real wealth is not what you see. It is what you feel. It is peace. It is freedom. It is the power to live life on your own terms. Rich people look poor because they know this truth. They know that wealth is not about what you wear or what you show. It is about how you live and how you think. They have learned that money is only a tool. It can make life easier, but it cannot fill an empty heart. Real wealth starts in your mind. It is the ability to stay calm when life gets hard. It is the courage to dream when others doubt you. It is the strength to keep going even when no one believes in you. That is the kind of wealth that never disappears. When you are truly rich inside, you stop needing to look rich outside. You stop chasing things. You start chasing meaning. You value time, family, learning, and peace. You start feeling grateful for small things, a quiet morning, a good book, a kind word. Those are the real treasures of life. Many people think they want more money, but what they really want is freedom. The freedom to do what they love, the freedom to say no, the freedom to live without fear, and that freedom comes from wisdom, not from showing off. Rich people know that life is short. They don't waste it pretending. They don't live for attention. They live for purpose. They use money to build, not to boast. They give more than they take. They grow quietly, and their peace speaks for them. Real wealth is not found in luxury stores. It is found in your habits, your mindset, and your values. It is when you can sleep peacefully at night. It is when you do not have to lie or impress anyone. It is when you are proud of the person you see in the mirror. True wealth is not loud. It is silent. It is not in what you have, but in what you can live without. It is not in your bank balance, but in your balance of heart and mind. So ask yourself today, what kind of rich do you want to be? The kind that fades when money fades, or the kind that shines forever because it lives inside you? The choice is yours. Start small, save a little, learn every day, stay humble, live simple, help others. These are not just good habits, they are the roots of real wealth. One day, when you look back, you will see that peace was the biggest profit. Remember this: don't look rich. Be valuable. Don't chase things. Chase purpose. Because real wealth is invisible. You cannot wear it, but people can feel it when you walk into a room. Now comes the final part of your video, the call to action that connects emotionally and invites engagement. If this video opened your eyes, take a deep breath and smile. You have just learned something most people never do. If you feel inspired to live simple and grow strong, hit the like button now. Subscribe to the channel so you and I can keep growing together. And share this video with someone who is chasing appearances instead of peace. Maybe it will change their life too. Now tell me in the comments, do you believe real wealth should be seen or felt? I'd love to hear your thoughts.